By the end of this video, you're gonna know the 6 cities where you can buy rental properties for $100,000 or less. Because the median home price in the US at the end of last year was about $417,000. And I know for many of you, that's even higher. So today we're gonna spend our time looking at some realistic options for you. By the way, the last city we talk about is one that I guarantee you weren't even thinking about. But first, I need you to hit that subscribe button. If you want to get better at real estate investing, you need to make sure that you're following this channel. Also, make sure you go to the description. I have a ton of free resources that help you get started investing in real estate. The first city on our list is Detroit, Michigan. I found 500 properties in Detroit that were $100,000 or less. This property is on sale for $94,900. Let's take a look inside of it. A nice brick home, and the interior looks pretty good. Good pictures. Looks like new flooring, fresh paint. Got the kitchen. I mean, to me, this looks pretty good. This is funny. This little refrigerator thing is funny. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like a solid property. The bathroom looks good. I like the gray. You got carpet. It gets cold out there. You got the bedrooms, basement, and overall looks like a pretty solid property. So the next thing you're probably wondering, all right, this is a nice cheap property. How much rent can I get for this property? In this area, you can get between $1,200 and $1,400 for rent, which is pretty good. And it also beats the 1% rule. The 1% rule states that if the property can rent for 1% of the purchase price, then it should cash flow. So this actually exceeds that. And I like to actually exceed that as well for my own property. So pretty good so far. Now you're probably wondering, well, why in the world would I want to invest in Detroit? So last year, JP Morgan celebrated their 10-year anniversary of investing $200 million in Detroit. They even mentioned that they want to be part of the city for the next 90 years. And here's what that $200 million investment did. So more than 72,000 Detroiters were placed into apprenticeships or full-time or part-time jobs. Nearly 17,000 Detroiters participated in job training programs aligned with high-demand industries. More than 13,000 small businesses received capital or technical assistance. More than 5,000 affordable housing units were created or preserved, and more than 15,000 Detroiters received services to improve their financial health. So when big companies make this kind of investment into cities, it's not for no reason. They don't just throw money out there. And one thing you'll notice about what I just shared is all of those initiatives help people improve their economic standing, their financial knowledge, help small businesses. All of those things coming together creates a thriving economy in a city that's coming back. So this next city had a listing that really shocked me. So the next city is Indianapolis, Indiana. I found 54 properties on Zillow that were $100,000 or less in Indianapolis. So this property is going for $85,000 and it's been on the market actually since July 2023, and the price has been cut by almost $45,000. So let's take a look and check this property out. Looks solid. The interior looks nice. Floors probably need to be polished or something. But yeah, fresh paint. It looks like fresh paint throughout the house and a decent sized backyard. So it looks like a decent house. 2-bed, 1-bath, about 1,500 square feet. In this area, you could get about $900 to $1,100 per month in rent, which is decent. Honestly, it's been on the market since July. I'm not sure why, but I would absolutely give a lowball offer for this property. If the inspection checks out, you might even be able to negotiate some repairs. So definitely something worth exploring. Here's some reasons that Indianapolis could be a good place for you to invest in. So Indianapolis has a strong economy with a low unemployment rate and high job growth rate. It's home to several Fortune 500 companies like Eli Lilly and Company, Anthem, and Cummins. In addition, the city has a thriving technology and life sciences industry with many startups and established companies choosing to set up operations in Indianapolis. This has led to a strong demand for rental properties as more people move to the city to take advantage of the job opportunities. So the unemployment rate and the job growth rate are definitely things for you to look at as you're looking for different places to invest in. Anywhere that has low unemployment and high job growth and companies coming and things of that nature, it's always a good thing because it means that your potential pool of applicants will have plenty of places to work. So absolutely something that you should be keeping in mind. This next city we're going to talk about is a city that I honestly think a lot more people should be talking about. The next city is Kansas City, Missouri. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. That was an amazing Super Bowl game, and that is the only game that I watch every year, so it was definitely one that was worth it. I found 66 properties in Kansas City that were $100,000 or less. This property is going for $98,000, and since it's been on the market last December, the price has been cut by over $30,000. So let's check this out. All right, so you got the front porch. Really could have done a better job with these pictures, but so far it's decent. Inside looks decent. Carpet looks decent. Might need some replacing or cleaning. Fresh paint. Bathroom looks all right. Living area looks okay. Carpet throughout most of the property. Kitchen looks decent. Electric stove, it looks like. Got some yard space. Overall, decent property. In this area, you could probably rent it for $1,200 to $1,400 per month, which is pretty good for the price. Since this property has been on the market for a little while, I would also submit a lowball offer and see how much they're willing to reduce the price, especially since they already cut it so significantly. And I would also be curious to know why they decided to cut the price so significantly. Maybe somebody discovered something who was checking the property out before, who knows? One thing to keep in mind when you're looking at properties, do not only rely on the pictures, whether you're local or whether you're out of state. If you decide to go a little bit further in the process for a particular property, get it under contract and all those things, absolutely want to make sure that you get an inspection. The inspection report is going to show you what is wrong with the property, what might need some current or future repairs, and it also can be a negotiating tool. You can get some repairs negotiated. You might even be able to get some credits from the seller and things of that nature. Don't ever skip an inspection. If you skip the inspection, you will absolutely regret it. I promise you, you'll regret it. It's worth spending the couple $100s to get the inspection done at all times. So here's some reasons that Kansas City could be a good place for you to invest. Based on data from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, the Kansas City Metro ranks 15th in the nation for growth in real GDP among the 50 most populous metros. The region's economy climbed a little over 3% or $4.28 billion in 2022. It was just ahead of Atlanta and San Diego and behind Hartford, Connecticut. The only metro in the Midwest to grow faster than Kansas City was Indianapolis. So as of a couple of years ago, the economy was thriving and booming, which is a really good thing. Kansas City was recognized as one of the 25 most affordable, fast-growing cities to consider in 2024 by Go Banking Rates. The Go Banking Rates team analyzed growth and affordability in the 200 largest U.S. cities, and they used these topics to come up with the list. 1 and 5 year population changes, median household incomes, average rent, average home values, and overall cost of living. Kansas City ranked number 7 on the list. In the last 5 years, Kansas City has seen a 6.08% growth in the city's population, and the typical home value in Kansas City is $223,152. Now, again, this is great. Back in 2022, similar things were being said, and going into this current year, Kansas City seems to still be thriving economically. People are moving there, and it could be a sleeper and a place that you definitely should consider investing in and seeing what opportunities might be out there for you. In 2012, Google Fiber chose Kansas City to be the first to roll out their new high-speed internet service. In a public-private partnership collaborating with Cisco, Kansas City has become the world's most connected smart city. In the downtown area, Kansas City enjoys a burgeoning tech and startup industry with an entrepreneurial spirit. And a couple other things to note is that Kansas City is home to large Ford and GM plants employing approximately 8,000 people. And Kansas City also benefits from the agricultural industry, and they boast the largest concentration of the animal health industry in the world, with over 300 companies and a third of the world's business going through the region. And they're also one of the top life science research markets in the country. So the next city on the list is one that I believe a lot of people are sleeping on. I think by the time we finish discussing, you'll agree with me. So the next city on the list is St. Louis, Missouri. I found 196 properties on Zillow for St. Louis that are $100,000 or less. So this property just came on the market recently and it's going for $100,000. Let's take a look. All right, so there's a deck and looks like the potentially new flooring. Looks like vinyl plank to me. And the kitchen looks okay. I might do some updates in there, maybe paint it. And you have a bathroom here, presumably one of the bedrooms here. Another bathroom. Decent house, decent yard space. Overall, it's not bad. 3-bed, 2-bath, about 1,500 square feet. So according to Rental Meter, you could comfortably rent this property for about $1,400 a month. As you're looking for properties, it's very important to make sure that you are understanding what you can reasonably rent the property for. Some resources you can use are Rental Meter. You can also look online at current listings. And what you want to do is type the zip code in and just look in the general area of the property and see what else is listed for rent, and then compare yourself to that. And I would say you want to find a happy medium. You don't want to be too low, but you also don't want to be too high. If you start on the higher end of the range that you think you can rent it for, you can always drop the price a little bit if you're not getting as many applicants or as many qualified applicants as you would want. So here's some reasons that you may want to consider investing in St. Louis. So there's some major projects coming to the city. In North City, construction is underway on the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency's $1.7 billion Western headquarters. So today, the main operations building and visitor control centers are complete. And when employees arrive in 2026, They'll have access to amenities like a courtyard, coffee bar, and even a mile-long walking trail. I would have loved to have a 1 mile walking trail at work. I'm sure most of us would appreciate being able to take a break and just walk around for a little bit. So this is pretty cool. As you're looking for places to invest, when you see employers building headquarters and getting their employees to move there, things of that nature, it's always a good sign. The St. Louis Zoo has plans for 425 acres in North County, slated to open in 2027. Its forthcoming $230 million conservation area will house such animals as giraffes, white rhinos, greavy zebras, gazellas, antelope, camels, and ostriches. Guests will be able to take safaris through the woodlands and savanna, feed giraffes, stay in luxury cabins, etc. And there is a destination discovery 2.8 acres that's slated to open in 2026 out on the former site of the Emerson Children's Zoo in the zoo's existing Forest Park location. So in general, when cities are investing in these amenities, it is not by accident. There's a lot of data and a lot of studies that go into the decision about whether they're going to invest in these kind of amenities for the city or not. And one thing you'll notice is they're talking about 2026. They're talking about several years down the line. Believe me, those plans probably started a decade ago. This is how far in advance cities start planning for the next phase. So it's important to make sure that you're tapped into this kind of information so you know what's coming. And you might even get to know what pockets of the city to invest in that are near some of these amenities. The next two cities are in Ohio. The last city is one that I guarantee you were not thinking about. The next city is Cleveland, Ohio. I found 310 homes in Cleveland on Zillow for $100,000 or less. So this property just hit the market and it's going for about $99,000. So let's check it out. Interesting colors. I will probably repaint that deck, but looks like carpet throughout, fresh paint potentially. The kitchen looks new, looks like potentially vinyl plank flooring. The theme is gray, clearly, but overall, house looks decent, 4-bed, 1-bath. In this area, you probably could rent for $1,200 to $1,400 per month. Here are some reasons that you may want to consider investing in Cleveland. One of the first items of development news likely in 2024 will be the completion of plans for the redevelopment of downtown Cleveland's lakefront, led by Mayor Justin Bibb. This is especially true for the area around the North Coast Harbor, a to-be-renovated Cleveland Browns Stadium, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and museum now undergoing a $100 million expansion. Plans are also underway for the Cleveland Metro Park's $300 million project that is called CHEERS, or the Cleveland Harbor Eastern Embayment Resilience Strategy. So it'll redevelop the waterfront from downtown east to Cleveland Lakefront Nature Preserve near Gordon Park. Construction also began last year on more than 600 housing units on the Scranton Peninsula. Something else going on is that by the end of 2024, Sherwin-Williams officials hope to start moving up to 3,500 workers into their new 606-foot tall headquarters tower west of Public Square. So anytime a city has this kind of development going on, if there's lakefronts, river walks, whatever the case is, and they are focusing on those areas, it's a good sign. Anytime you hear about employers moving workers there or having new offices, it's always a good sign. So as you're doing your research, these are the kind of things you want to look for. So the last city is one I know you weren't thinking about. In my opinion, this is a city that a lot more people should be investing in. The last city is Dayton, Ohio. And Dayton, Ohio is actually where I invest, and I've been investing there for going on 5 years now, and it's been great. I found 118 properties in Dayton for $100,000 or less. So this property's been on the market for a few weeks. It's going for $99,900. Let's check it out. 3-bed, 1-bath. Ooh, I like the staging a lot. Staging is really good. It's a nice couch. Decent backyard space. I wonder if this is an actual bed or if it's one of those digital staging situations. It might be. You guys let me know what you think. But it looks like vinyl plank flooring throughout, gray theme throughout. I feel like I've seen this backsplash a lot in kitchens. Got the stove, washer, looks like as well, bathroom. It looks pretty nice. Looks like a carport maybe. Yeah, overall the house is decent. You can rent this property out for about $1,100 to $1,300 per month. So here's some reasons that you may want to consider checking out Dayton. The Dayton region has seen continued growth of its own in the technology sector this year. In March, Synergy Building Systems began constructing its new $19 million Beaver Creek office building off of Colonel Glenn Highway. Tech companies like Modern Technology Solutions and LinQuest Corporation, with work at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, have already been committed to filling the space of the building. Amazon Web Services investment in Central Ohio builds on the state's strong foundation in technology infrastructure and innovation. The Dayton region stands ready to support Amazon Web Services growth and looks forward to the opportunity it presents to our IT workforce, said the president and CEO of the Dayton Development Corporation. More good news. So Honda and LG Energy Solutions continue construction on their $3.5 billion electric vehicle battery plant in Fayette County. That joint venture will be built about an hour east of Dayton. The plant will employ about 2,200 workers and executives of the joint venture expect to draw those workers from Dayton, Springfield, and other surrounding communities. The retail side of Amazon also plans to occupy 2 new facilities that are being constructed in northern Montgomery County near the Dayton International Airport. The new fulfillment centers are projected to create 1,800 jobs when the facilities open, possibly later this year. So it's crazy. Like, that stuff is all pretty new to me, but the reason I invested in that particular city is similar reasons, right? There were other job related things and companies and businesses and stuff coming to the city that made me want to invest. So we went over 7 cities, and a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. If you are considering investing somewhere else or even moving somewhere else, you want to look at some of the things we saw today. You want to look at the job growth. You want to look at the local economy, the unemployment rate, what employers are coming there, what employers are leaving. You want to look at all of these things. These are very important and will help you to understand where your pool of tenants might be working, right? This is definitely something that I want you to keep in mind and take very seriously. So now that you know some places where you can buy a property for $100,000 or less, I want you to learn about 5 mortgage mistakes that you have to avoid. Check out this video.